All right, so what we have here is a screaming reason why we never, ever, 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 never skip steps. So this morning I was in a bit of a rush and I was debating just putting this together without doing a leak check on it. Now, by the way, so what I did was I did do the leak check on it. I decided to do the pump instead, and then I got distracted. So I put some mineral spirits and trans oil in here and let it sit out in the Florida sun for about an hour. Come back, and then I'm hoping you can see that there's a buildup of fluid down there. So that tells me that now I could have saved myself doing this entire thing if I just would have noticed this. So, you know, that play is supposed to be measured in thousandths of an inch, and obviously that's well over a quarter inch. So, anyway, so now I'm in a little bit of a predicament in that, so is it the input shaft that's bad, or is it the drum that's bad, or both? And the reason why that's a predicament, normally I wouldn't care, by the way, but obviously this is a 4L75E. We've got an input speed sensor, and we've got a reluctor wheel. And these are unique to Hummers and I think Corvettes, if I'm not mistaken. And part of the reason why we know that is because the lockup seal right here, a 300 millimeter lockup seal, does not fit properly in the lockup seal groove. So now these drums are a dime a dozen. I think these drums might go all the way back to, you know, the first generation of 4L60. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I can take it. But I think, well, first of all, so here we have, now this drum is also a 4L70. This is going to be a 4L75, by the way. I misspoke earlier. And first thing is, as you can see, there is no up and down play. Additionally, these drums are about the same level. As you can see that this, so that shaft is clearly almost, I'd say, a half inch longer. And as we said, the drums are identical. And the reason I know that is because if you look right here, you can see we've got 8716, 8716. Okay. Now I can also go to this drum right here is for a 2011. Once again, we got a reluctor wheel, but we've got a normal size 300 millimeter lockup O-ring. And also, oh, another thing is this, the diameter of this is clearly smaller. Matter of fact, let's prove that point. So this is 0.88 and this is 0.998. So it's got a different diameter, this taper is different, and the lockup O-ring is a different size. So this input shaft is unique to Hummers and a few other selected applications. Now also, if we go over here to an old school 300 millimeter, you can see right here the input shaft, of course, is dramatically different. No reluctor wheel, but we still have that 8716 stamping on the input drum. And then we can go over here to this one, and we have this. Now this is old school, so this would be probably a one-piece case and either a 350 or 4.3, and going back to as old as, I don't know, 96, 78. But if you look once again at the cylinder, we got 8716. So the cylinders are a dime a dozen. That input shaft is not. So once again, this is unique. So once again, is my problem the input shaft, or is it the drum? So one way that we're going to find out. Now I'm also in a mind of changing them both. Might be the appropriate thing to do, just to be on the safe side. Now had I not checked that, just went ahead and rebuilt it, well, first of all, I would have noticed that play. There's no chance that I would have put it in without noticing that. It probably would have worked. And it probably would have stayed out 3 or 4 months. Probably would have worked, and it probably would have stayed out for a couple of months, but then it would have came back in and it would have been missing probably 3rd and 4th again. So this is a reason why the 3/4 clutch failure occurred, which is actually kind of nice to know, because as I was taking it apart, I really couldn't see anything. Now to punch that out, you can use any size socket. I prefer to use like a 15-16 impact. I don't know why. First time I ever did it, that's what I used, and I keep on, shall we say, coming back to that. I prefer an impact socket. Here we go. This is what, 15. There we go. Now normally there's a snapping noise when you first get it to move, and that is noticeably absent. And this came out way too easy. Came out way too easily. With that kind of play, by the way, it's kind of obvious that a bead of Loctite, by the way, is not going to fix it. So here we are now, and let's look at these splines. Feel good, which is what I want to happen. I want the problem to be in here, but what I want is not necessarily the case. I don't see anything physically wrong with these splines. So I guess the way that I'm going to find out is by taking that shaft, putting it into another drum, and seeing, does it go in, does it fit, does it lock down like it's supposed to. But anyway, that's the reason why this lost 3rd and 4th gear.